We're still viewing trauma as the result of an extreme life-threatening event or situation like war, a natural disaster, sexual assault, or a violent crime. However, sometimes trauma can be silent and subtle, yet extremely deep. It can affect every decision we make and transform every part of our being, even if we have no idea it is there deep within us. For example, relational trauma happens when a child's sense of being safe and loved within the family is disrupted, and usually because the parents are too self-involved to focus on the child's needs, or because one of the parents doesn't value the emotional life of the child, which leads the parent to meet the physical and material needs only, without ever making the child feel emotionally safe and supported. In some cases, it's the exact opposite. They don't give the child the space to breathe, to be with their own thoughts and develop their own identity. If you're lucky enough, it's a little bit of everything I've just described. Welcome to my life. These are some of the causes of childhood trauma that our society doesn't fully recognize. Number one, parents denying your reality. When we're children, we experience life differently. We're building our sense of self, and our parents play a huge role in that process. One of our core needs is validation. To build strong, healthy self-esteem, we need to be validated by our parents and those we love and trust the most. This is how we feel understood and supported. Validating someone's emotional experience does not necessarily involve agreeing with them. Instead, it simply means that you're letting them know their experience is real and their emotions are valid. If as children we share our genuine feelings with our parents and we're told it wasn't that bad or that didn't really happen, the message we absorb is that our feelings and experiences are not legitimate, which leads us to the next point. Being told directly or indirectly you shouldn't experience certain emotions. We live in a society that does not know how to deal with the emotional realm. We deny it, suppress it, and pretend it doesn't exist. And as children, hearing things like, don't be so sensitive, toughen up, stop crying like a girl, or there's no need for you to feel that way, has many consequences. Because we're left to cope with our emotions without guidance in how to process them. Essentially, we were told that who we are is not acceptable. So it's no wonder that we end up carrying chronic feelings of inadequacy into adulthood or suppressing our emotions to make others feel comfortable. Number three, not being seen or heard. As humans, we have a fundamental need to express ourselves authentically, to show our true colors and be loved for who we are. This need is met when we form a secure attachment with our parents. A secure attachment bond ensures that your child will feel secure, understood, and calm enough to experience optimal development of their nervous system. Your child's developing brain organizes itself to provide your kids with the best foundations for life, a feeling of safety that results in eagerness to learn, healthy self-awareness, trust, and empathy. However, when our parents are struggling themselves, they cannot meet our emotional and psychological needs. They may provide us with financial privileges and academic opportunities, but we still feel lonely and insecure. An insecure attachment will lead to many difficulties in forming relationships later in life, because we've learned that we need to betray ourselves for love. Number four is having a parent who's focused on appearance. Parents who are constantly making comments about your weight, body shape, or overall appearance are unconsciously teaching you that your appearance is the way to gain or lose approval. Besides, growing up in these families makes you feel like you'll never be loved for your whole self, since love is based on how you look or perform. This is another example of relational trauma that profoundly impacts your relationship expectations. It makes it difficult for you to find healthy, secure relationships because you've never been unconditionally loved and accepted. So you don't even know what it feels like. The fifth point is having a parent who overcompensates for what they felt was missing in their childhood. It's great to be aware of the mistakes our parents have made, but sometimes we can go too far to overcompensate them. We may be well-intentioned when we try to do it differently, but we often inadvertently go overboard. For example, if our parents were overbearing, we may react by being too hands-off on our kids. While we felt intruded on growing up, our children may feel neglected. When we swing too far the other way, we still distort our behavior based on our story. Rather than deciding on the qualities that matter to us, we're still reacting to things that happened to us. It's crucial and challenging to maintain a healthy balance. Number 6 is having parents who cannot regulate their own emotions. Unstable, chaotic environments where one or both of the parents' figures have emotional outbursts that usually involves a lot of yelling, name-calling, and manipulation out of nowhere are incredibly distressing. Children who grow up in such environment create the belief that they are the ones to blame for the chaos they are in, which develops and reinforces their feelings of shame, guilt, and inadequacy. Besides, they learn to track the parents' mood to survive emotionally. And this is how people pleasers are born, dealing with unpredictable parents' figures who don't show love consistently. We don't want to see ourselves as victims. We don't want to know that we have been through traumatic situations and circumstances. Trauma is much broader than we tend to imagine, and it leaves permanent scars, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. But that doesn't mean we're doomed. We can always make a conscious effort to understand it by asking ourselves the tough questions and dealing with the painful feelings. That is how we heal.